Welcome to Perspectives, executive coaching in your ears. And today's perspective is called Get Clear. This is a perspective for women who are ready to reconnect with what matters most for them. These are short guided reflections to help women think more clearly, work more intentionally, and create work and lives that feels deeply aligned, and to find their footing in the middle of busy lives, big responsibilities, and meaningful and sometimes unexpected life changes. So whether you're navigating overwhelm, moving through uncertainty, preparing for an important conversation, or simply trying to quiet a busy mind, you're in the right place. Because each episode offers a different perspective, it's a chance to slow down, step back, and reconnect with the calm, capable, grounded person that's already within you. Today's perspective is about helping women who are ready to reconnect with what matters most. And this perspective helps working women cut through noise, reconnect with what matters, and move forward with clarity and intention. So let's begin. Take a moment to pause. Not because everything is done, but because clarity doesn't come from constant motion. It comes from space. So just for now, let yourself stop. Take a breath in and out. And as you do, allow your shoulders to drop, your mind to slow, your attention to come back to you. Because when you're being, it's easy to be pulled in every direction. With your boss, your team, your stakeholders, your inbox. Personally, it's everyone else's priorities. And somewhere in all of that, your own direction can get a little blurred. Not gone, just quiet. So this is your moment to turn the volume back up. Not on the noise, on what matters. Now, just notice where you are right now in your role. No judgment, just awareness. What's taking your time? What's draining your energy? What are you holding on to that you don't need to anymore? And what's missing? Because often, career clarity doesn't come from adding more. It comes from removing what's no longer aligned. Take another breath and let that land. Now, imagine a version of you 6 months from now. Not about being perfect and not dramatically different, just clearer. This future you, more focused, more intentional. Notice in that future time what you're prioritizing, what you've let go of, where your attention goes naturally, and how you work from that place. Calmer, more decisive, less reactive. And just take a moment to feel that. Because that version of you isn't a different person. It is you, with clearer boundaries, clearer thinking, and clearer choices. Now ask yourself these questions, and not to answer quickly, but to become curious about. If someone else took over your role tomorrow, what would they say is the real purpose of your position? And what would they notice you spend most of your time doing? And are these two things the same? What decisions have you been postponing, hoping they'll somehow become easier? Because we all know delayed decisions quietly drains your energy. What have you said yes to that you wish you hadn't, or that no longer deserves your best energy? Where have you confused being busy with creating value? And if your answers feel unclear, that's useful information, because we know the most effective people aren't the busiest. They aren't the ones who solve every problem. They aren't the ones everyone depends on. They are the ones who know where they create the greatest value, and they spend more time there. So you don't need more time. You need more clarity. You don't need more motivation. You need a clearer decision. You don't need another productivity system. You need permission to stop doing what no longer matters. Because clarity isn't found, it's created through attention, through decisions, through action. Now, bring to mind one area of your work where things feel messy, unclear, overcomplicated. And just notice, what would clear look like there? What would you stop doing? What would you simplify? What would you decide instead of delay? And there's no pressure to act yet. Just seeing it differently is enough to begin. Because once you see more clearly, it's hard to unsee. Now imagine yourself taking one step, one decision, one conversation, one shift in focus. And notice how that feels. Is it lighter, more direct, more like the person you ought to be? Because this isn't about doing everything. It's about choosing what matters and managing that well. Now take a breath and let that settle. Because you don't need more time. You don't need more effort. You need more clarity. And clarity comes when you slow down enough to choose. So as you move back into your day, carry this with you. You are allowed to decide what matters. You are allowed to focus on your energy. You are allowed to work with intention. And you don't need to have it all mapped out. And now take another deep breath. And ask yourself, what is the one decision, the one conversation, or the one commitment that would make tomorrow feel clearer than today? And you don't need your whole future mapped out. You don't need every answer. People rarely have all the answers. They simply become clear enough to take the next step, then the next. And eventually, those small, clear decisions become a career. a reputation, a legacy. So wherever you go next today, lead forward with clarity, with intention, and with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing what truly matters. If you've enjoyed this perspective, I'd love you to subscribe so these recordings are waiting for you whenever you need a reset. And if you're ready to create lasting change, not just in how you work, but in how you experience your career and life, I'd love to help. I work with wonderful women who are ready to move beyond overwhelm, build genuine confidence, and move with clarity, influence, and calm. And you can book a complimentary discovery conversation using the link in the show notes. So until next time, be kind to yourself, keep showing up, and remember, sometimes the smallest shift in perspective changes everything.